The hour is 7 o'clock having arrived. I'll call the council to order. Let the roll reflect that all council members are in attendance and a quorum has been established. The council, we have before us this evening the minutes of the regular meeting on May 18th, 2015. That was capably handled by Councilmember Alonji. Thank you for stepping in. Appreciate that. Is there any corrections or additions to the minutes of that meeting? Seeing none, they stand approved. Council items to be considered. Any council items to be considered tonight? Further items. Okay. Council, next we're going to have a couple of presentations. First of all, we're going to take the opportunity to introduce a real exciting opportunity to meet our new firefighter paramedics that have just brought on board our Hastings Fire Department. Many of you know that we have increased our staff at the fire department to meet the ever-growing needs of public safety in our community. And Melanie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Your Honor, council, members of the public, staff that are here, and I see a couple of our Public Safety Advisory Commissioners. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's my honor to welcome our 3 new firefighter paramedics. Before we introduce each of these gentlemen, and Chief Shute will do that, I just want to provide a summary of how we got to this point. We've talked a lot about public safety in the last year and a half with our fire study, and it truly remains a goal to hire only the best. And to do that, we have a robust hiring process, and we are very pleased with the 3 folks that have chosen to join our organization. It's been said that there's no higher calling in terms of a career than public service, which is a chance to make a difference in people's lives and improve the world. And I believe that, and I believe that these 3 additions to our department will help personify that. Within our organization, we hold ourselves up to our core values: communication, optimal service, respect for resources, and enthusiasm. We hold ourselves up to high standards of responsive and responsible service. We hold ourselves up to embracing change when it brings us to the next level of service. And we do this because what we do matters. We do this because the Hastings community expects us to, and we do this because it's the right thing to do. Earlier this year, we opened up the application process for firefighter paramedics. We received 132 applications. We ran candidates through a validated test to measure job-related characteristics, as well as an integrity inventory. We conducted 2 rounds of interviews. Candidates were required to complete a written assessment to demonstrate report writing skills. They were subject to a comprehensive physical fitness test, as well as a thorough background check, very similar to what we do to our police officers. Throughout these numerous steps in the process, we narrowed the focus to the 3 before you tonight. We welcome these 3 to our organization with excitement, high expectations to uphold our core values, serve the community and those in need in a professional and humane manner, and to contribute to our organizational strength through progressive, responsive, and courageous service. Before I turn it over to Chief Shute, I'd like to acknowledge our team who developed this process and participated. We had a cross-section of fire and other department staff who assisted in interviewing, conducting testing, reviewing written materials, and conducting background checks. We had members of our advisory commissions helping out, as well as members of the community, because that's what this is. It's a job for the community. Thanks to Chief Shute and Assistant Chief Townsend for all their work throughout the process. And thanks to Assistant City Administrator Julie Flatten for coordinating a thorough and robust process that is in alignment with our organizational goals. She did this while managing maybe a couple other hiring processes that we're going through. So all that together shows what a strong team we have and a commitment to service to the public. I'll close with a quote by author John Steinbeck. "It is the nature of man to rise to greatness if greatness is expected of him." Mayor, council, Hastings community, we expect great things from our staff. I'd like to welcome our newest members.
Thanks, Melanie. Mr. Mayor, City Council members, again, on behalf of John, Julie, Melanie, and myself, we thank you for the opportunity and for the 3 candidates that we're bringing forward. Brandon Boyd. Brandon, born and raised in the city of Hastings, son of Doug and Julie Boyd. Brandon's father, Doug, is a former firefighter with our organization. In high school, Brandon played both hockey and baseball and continued that on in college at Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter. In 2011, he began working for Wayne Transport in Rosemont as an accountant. In early 2012, he joined the Hastings Fire Department as a paid-on-call firefighter. It was soon after that he realized that firefighting and paramedic was his true calling, and went back to school to get his paramedic certification at Hennepin County Medical Center. When he graduated in May of 2014 with his paramedic certification, he worked at Gold Cross Ambulance and then also with us at Hastings Fire and Ambulance. Brandon would like to extend a very special thank you to his family and his fiancee Kelly for all their support over the last 3 years, especially while he was in school. So Brandon, and I believe it's your father, Doug, would like to come up and put a badge on you. Congratulations and welcome. Mike Christian from Linwood, Minnesota. He's married, his wife's name is Lindsay, and they have a 10-year-old son named Drew. Mike was a paramedic and a field training officer with Lakes Regions Ambulance Service, and he's also was a tactical paramedic for the Chisago County SWAT team. He's a captain on the Linwood Volunteer Fire Department, and he holds an associate degree in fire science and is working towards his bachelor's in fire science. In his free time, he enjoys spending time with his family, fishing, hunting, and riding his Harley.
There you go.
Mike and Drew, congratulations. And last but not least, Jeremy Hall. Jeremy comes to us from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. He's on the fire department there. He's also a paramedic, or was a paramedic with Lakes Regions EMS. And most recently was a fire inspector with the St. Paul Fire Department. With us tonight is his wife, Rachel, and daughter, Caroline. Hi, Caroline. And we're very excited to have him here tonight. So, Jeremy? Gentlemen, would you like a picture?
Okay.
You want a picture?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say welcome aboard. I think you'll find the pride and service of our firefighters is second to none here in the city of Hastings. You come from a firefighting community that began in the 1860s. And so we're very proud to have you on board, and we look forward to your service and service of our community. And our health, and to a certain extent, and our safety is in your hands. So we have a lot of confidence in you with this process. What I'd like to do now, because we're politicians, we want a photo. So we'll have right out here in the front.
You want to get in the middle too, that might.
Okay, next, council, we have a presentation by the Dakota County Pleasant Hill Library. Mary Scheide is here from the Pleasant Hill Library. Welcome, Mary. We're very glad to have you here.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Hicks, council members, and city staff. Thanks for the opportunity to give you an update this evening on what's coming up this summer at the Dakota County Pleasant Hill Library. I brought along our summer program guides for you. The gold insert is the programs that are happening at Pleasant Hill here in Hastings. The program guide includes programs all across the Dakota County Library System in all 9 branches. So our summer reading program experience for children and teens kicks off next Monday on June 8th, and it runs through August 15th. The summer reading program is fun, and participation is very easy. For children from the age of birth up to entering 5th grade, kids receive a game board when they sign up for summer reading, and it looks like this. And as they complete a combination of reading and other activities, they earn up to 3 prizes throughout the summer. These activities might be something like reading outdoors or drawing a picture of a favorite book character. Just by signing up, children are eligible to win Minnesota State Fair tickets, tickets to a Twins game, and a grand prize family membership to a local zoo or museum. They have 5 choices, the winner does. For teens, and that would be those children that are entering grade 6 up through grade 12, they submit short book reviews, with an emphasis on short, to be eligible to win books, gift cards, and a grand prize of a Galaxy tablet. When teens register, they also get a ticket for free admission to an event at Cascade Bay in Eagan, and that's on June 18th. So they can sign up with a friend, they get their free admission ticket, and they can have some fun at the water park early on in the summer. Right now we have 20 middle and high school students that have also stepped forward to be volunteers and to help with summer reading registrations at the library, and they also help with our programming, so we're excited to have them on board. During the months of June, July, and August last year, in 2014, we had almost 40,000 people visit Dakota County Pleasant Hill Library, so we're gearing up for another busy summer. The Friends of the Pleasant Hill Library annually sponsor a kickoff event, a root beer float party, and that's coming up next Tuesday on June 9th. And along with root beer floats, they have crafts and games and all kinds of fun for kids. It's from 10:30 to noon in the morning, and then it's repeated again in the evening from 6:30 to 7:30. While summer reading is a big focus for us during the upcoming months, summer isn't just for kids and families. All year round, adults regularly use the library for our free internet computers. We have free Wi-Fi, free wireless printing, we have study rooms, and our meeting room that's available for nonprofit groups. So we have summer program offerings for adults as well. We have an interviewing skills workshop coming up this Friday that there is still room for. That's taught by the Workforce Center in Dakota County. Other events for adult this summer are, we have a Facebook 101 class for businesses and organizations. We have a class on how to download ebooks onto your iPad. We have 3 plant healthcare clinics that are being sponsored by the Dakota County Master Gardener Program. We have a couple craft programs this summer for adults, and the Leduc Book Group, which is facilitated by the library and held at the house, meets the first Thursday of every month. So for history and nonfiction lovers, that's another opportunity if you'd like to get together and discuss books with your friends. All the library programs are free. Some of them do require registration, and those are marked in the program guide. Again, the guide includes events happening all around the library system, and the gold insert are the ones happening here in Hastings. Last year, we had just shy of 850 children and teens sign up for the summer reading program. We expect good results again this year. So I hope that you and your families and the residents of Hastings will take advantage of everything that we have going on this summer. Come on out. If programs aren't your thing, we're happy to provide you with books and DVDs and music and whatever else we can help you find and connect you with at the library. Thanks for your time, and I appreciate seeing you.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that presentation. We'd like to hear from you from time to time to get these updates, and they're valued, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Council, is there any questions? Councilmember Schultz.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mary, you talk about tickets to Cascade Bay.
Yes.
Has there ever been any thought about having tickets to our water park here in Hastings, offering a ticket here so then students wouldn't have to travel over to Egan in order to enjoy it? They could stay in town?
Sure. Thank you for that question. I know that that was pursued previous years. As I can recall last year in 2014 that there was some discussion trying to have that event held at other facilities around the county. For some reason that did not happen last year. I don't know if there were discussions this year, but I'd certainly be willing to check into that for you and find out. I can get a message back to Melanie. Sure, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mary. Appreciate
Thanks,
the
I
presentation.
hope to see you this summer.
Okay, you too. Council, we have the consent agenda now before us. What's your wish? Councilmember Alonji makes a motion to approve. Is there a second to that motion? Seconded by Councilmember Nelson. That motion is now before the body. Is there any discussion to that motion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails. We go to awarding of contracts at public hearing. Tonight we have a public hearing, Council, in relation to amending the following city code as it relates to the sidewalk cafes, ranging from Chapter 30.04 to 111.06 in various degrees. And I will open that to Melanie. Turn it over to you.
Thank you, Your Honor and Council. I'll provide a brief summary of where we are today. You're going to be asked to hold a public hearing to amend, yes, no less than 7 ordinance amendments to allow sidewalk cafes on the public right-of-way. We have talked about this over the last several months, and we have before you what we think is a very exciting proposal to be able to allow our downtown businesses to use the public right-of-way to have Sidewalk Cafe have public service or service on the sidewalk. So one piece of clarification, which I perhaps neglected to include in the packet, was the fee schedule and being articulate about what that included. Just for clarification's sake, staff is proposing a site application fee, initial fee of $100. The renewal would be $50. If a business wants to serve alcohol, the initial application fee for that, for the alcohol liquor license amendment, would be $50. Renewal would be $25. I'd be happy to answer, we did do notifications throughout the downtown area to both business owners and property owners, notifying them of this proposed change. The only feedback that either Julie or I have received to date has been positive and supportive in nature. So with that, I'm happy to stand for any questions, or you may open the public hearing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, let's do that. I'm going to open up the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this issue? Sidewalk cafes. I know there are some people here that are interested in it, but they may not have a comment, but glad to see you here. Okay. Anyone here who wishes to speak to that portion of the agenda? Okay. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Council, this issue, let's bring that before us for discussion. Council, what's your wish? Councilmember Schultz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a comment about the fee issue, and I understand that there would be staff time involved in the application and license and the liquor license amendment, I am going to just throw out for discussion that we either do away with the application fee altogether or only charge it one time and not charge a renewal. And the reason I'm suggesting this is because any business that does not, who wants to have a sidewalk cafe but is not on public property does not have to do either of these two things. So they've got a little bit of a financial advantage over on business that's located in the public areas. And so I'm wondering if we might be able to either lower the application fee or waive it or come up with some kind of a structure. The liquor license amendment, I think that's fine because you've got to do some work on, the whole liquor license issue is another thing that we have to deal with. And the sack and whack fees, those are charged to everyone, whether they're on public property or private property, so those could stay in place. But I'm just suggesting we make a change on the application and license fee, and I wondered what anyone else might think.
Discussion. Councilmember Nelson.
Councilmember Schultz, I wouldn't disagree with you there. I don't foresee this fee being a big revenue generator for the city, so I'd be opt to go along with a reduction in the fee. Perhaps maybe we just cut it in half and charge the one-time fee of $50. That would cover some staff time, and be done with go that route. But I'd be in favor of something like that.
Councilmember Schultz, can I ask for a clarification?
Yeah.
We have before us the alcohol service, which is $50 and then $25 annually. But you're saying not to touch that because we have to go through the liquor amendment. So you're suggesting that the site modification fee, which is
application, yeah.
Right, the site, and it's called site modification, I think,
Right.
because someone has to submit a plan of how they're going to lay it out, and then that plan has to be reviewed. So you're suggesting that's $100 with a $50 renewal.
I'm thinking maybe we could either not have an application fee at all, or maybe cut that application fee in half to be $50 and then not have the renewal cost unless maybe they change their site plan. If they've got a site plan that staff doesn't have to go over again. So it's just be like, nope, everything's staying the same as it was last year. Here's what we've got, and then so just to kind of roll those forward after they make that initial application.
I think there's going to be staff time and always, looking at a site modification plan. I mean, it has to be looked at and then feedback given back to the applicant, if it's good or change this, change that. Perhaps, to guide you a little bit, if I could suggest maybe a $50 fee instead of the $100, but then require that any modification of the approved plan must come back for approval, and then the fee is then established again.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep, that's what I was
So we can pay for the
suggesting.
cost of review.
Mm-hmm. No, and Your Honor, if I may, I fully understand the staff time involved. I'm a staff person in the other part of my life, and I fully understand when you've got those kinds of things that you have to do. But and absolutely, that's why I was suggesting, if we don't have to, if, just someone downtown decides they're going to, they get all their stuff in for 2015, and then in 2016, they're going to do the same thing, and they don't have any modifications on that site plan, we wouldn't necessarily have to charge them that renewal fee if they aren't making any modifications.
Right. Kind of like a one-time fee,
Yep.
unless you're going to change it,
Right.
then you have to come back.
Right. And Melanie, does that make sense?
How about staff comment on that? Just
Your Honor and Counsel, yeah, I think probably the most staff time will go into that initial review. So I think that's appropriate to have that fee established, and I think there's logic behind it. If it's the same thing year after year, no fee is appropriate. So that, we would be supportive, of course, of that change.
okay. Councilmember Schultz, would you want to offer an amendment?
Well, should I make a motion?
Do we have a motion? We don't have a motion right now, so yeah, we need the motion before us before we can amend it. So
Okay, so are we making one motion for?
let's get the motion, the main motion on the floor, and then it'll be open for amendment. So do you make a motion to approve the
I make-
sidewalk cafe?
Yes, I make a motion to approve, and my amendment would be,
Okay, 1 second. We have a
Okay.
motion to approve the sidewalk cafe ordinance as presented here in our packet. Is there a second to that motion? Seconded by Councilmember Vaughn. Councilmember Schultz for an amendment?
I'm suggesting that the initial application fee be $50, and then only charged again if there is a modification to the site plan.
Okay. Okay, is there a second to the amendment? Seconded by Councilmember Longi. We're on the Schultz amendment. The Schultz amendment is to change the current $100 for the site modification to $50. And once that's approved, there would be no other fee charged after that unless the applicant changes the site and then would have to be required to resubmit that, and then, you know, it'd be another, application or site modification charge.
Your Honor, I will suggest to staff that we monitor the fees, just like I've been suggesting all the other fees that we have, so that 25 years from now, you're still not walking around with the same fee, which sometimes happens.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, discussion on the Schultz amendment. Discussion on the Schultz amendment. Councilmember Vaughn.
That's one of my questions, is I'm a little leery about waiving fees without knowing the exact, is there a sunset on this one? How often are we going to review this? Is it anywhere else in the community, or is it just this area that we're talking about today? Or is it anybody that comes forward? I just get leery about lessening fees when someone else is going to come at us on something else saying, how about release fees? But as long as there's a timeline is what I was looking for.
Go ahead, Melanie.
Councilmember Vaughn and Your Honor, fees. Yeah, we have a goal of reviewing fees on a more regular basis than we have done historically. So that is part of our budget process now. That being said, I think this fee would apply, and I'll turn to Dan to correct me if I go astray. This would apply only to the downtown area. So a business with an outdoor seating that is on private property would not pay this fee. If that clarifies. Okay, all right.
Yeah, because we're on public property here. On the Schultz amendment, is there further discussion? Councilmember Alangi.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to clarify, my understanding of the fee, if they come back for a modification, is that is the same $50 fee, because we haven't noted another dollar amount. Would that be correct?
Correct. That's
And
my
was that,
understanding.
just want to make sure that was also Councilmember Schultz's intention? Okay.
Kind of the process is restarted at that point. Yeah. So
Thank
it's
you.
be the same amount. Okay, is there any further discussion on the Schultz amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The amendment prevails. Okay, now we have the main motion before us. This ordinance changes with the amendment, with the amended version. Is there further discussion to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails. I think that's a very good addition to our downtown, so I think it's good work. Thank you for everyone who worked on that, all council members and staff, and thanks to the business owners who brought it forward. And I remember having that discussion some months ago, and thanks to the hard work of our staff to get some of these real difficult issues sometimes that are involved in something that looks so simple, but there's a lot of things to talk about. So thank you, staff and council. Okay, next we go to community development. We tabled a resolution the last time due to a lack of the number of members needed to pass this action. John, welcome to the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. I will put up a map in just a moment here of the application we're looking at tonight. And as the mayor had noted, this was tabled at the last City Council meeting, so it will require an untabling of the motion before we have consideration. The application before us is a special use permit to provide retail services within the I-1 Industrial Park. The property in question is at 2939 Enterprise Avenue. located here in the northeast corner of 31st Street and Enterprise. It is one tenant in a multi-tenant building that's located on the corner. Essentially, within the I-1 district, any retail or service industry is allowed via special use permit. The purpose behind that is when we look at the industrial park, the primary uses that we're looking for within it are generally the uses that can't go anyplace else in the city. The heavy manufacturing, light manufacturing, warehousing, etc. However, under the terms of that code, we do allow limited retail and service industries, provided that they do not are not contrary to the primary use of within that district. So that's really what we're measuring against tonight. We did take this application forward to the Planning Commission at their May 11th meeting. They did vote recommendation of approval on a 5-0 vote. Public hearing was held. No one spoke for or against the item during the public hearing. Looking at the application itself, this would be for the Red Line project, which is a athletic performance training center. And as I mentioned, it would be in a portion of the building and with no outdoor facilities. So taking a look at our review of the project, how would it fit within the industrial park? Would it detract from any of the industries or any of the operations? We felt since it is a smaller use within a larger building that is industrial, that it would be appropriate to have the use within there. We do have a resolution in your packet that cites a couple of conditions for approval. We also have the applicant tonight here, Aaron Sidner, if you have any questions for him. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Okay, council, what would be appropriate at this time is a motion to take this item off the table. Councilmember Brox makes a motion to do so, seconded by Councilmember Schultz. Any discussion of that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails. This issue is now before the body. Motion to approve would be in order. We have that motion before us. Councilmember Alonji makes that motion to approve the special use permit, seconded by Councilmember Nelson. That motion is now before the body. Council, this would require 6 out of 7 votes. Discussion to that motion. Is there any further discussion? Councilmember Alonji.
Just want to say appreciate the investment in Hastings and good luck with the project and hope that things go well for you. You bet.
Is there any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your investment in our community. Thank you. Council, comments from the audience. Is there any comments from the audience? Okay. Comments from the audience. Seeing none, we'll go to announcements. Announcements? Council? Councilmember Schultz.
I believe there will be a joint meeting between HEDRA and the City Council next Thursday, June 11th, correct, at 6:30 here in the chambers.
Thank goodness it's June 11th, not January, huh? That's a good thing. Okay. Okay, and that's at 6:30 for clarification? Okay. Okay. Any other further announcements? I have a few announcements, Council. First of all, the Finance Committee will meet with the Chamber Board. Is that correct? Yes. Finance Committee will meet with the Chamber Board on Tuesday, June 9th at 7:30 a.m. to discuss the tourism agreement. So there will be a review of that. The Planning Commission will meet on Monday, June 8th at 7 p.m. at City Hall. The Park and Rec Commission will meet on Tuesday, June 9th at 6 p.m. at the Joint Maintenance Facility at 920 West 10th Street. The Historic Preservation Committee of the City Council, Chair Balsanic, will meet at 7:30 a.m. on Wednesday, June 10th. And then the Finance Committee, you guys are busy. Chair Schultz with Alonji and Nelson will be meeting at 6 p.m. on Monday, June 15th at City Hall to discuss the 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. The next City Council meeting is scheduled for 7 p.m. on Monday, June 15th. There will be a Public Safety Advisory Commission meeting on Thursday, June 18th at 6 p.m. And just to remind everyone, there will be a special City Council meeting on Monday, June 29th at 6:30 to discuss broadband initiative. And then let's not forget that this Thursday, it's going to be an exciting day, at 3 p.m., this Thursday at 3 p.m., down at the Riverfront Renaissance Project, down at the riverfront. There'll be a groundbreaking ceremony at 3 p.m. on this Thursday. So if you can attend, please be there. I have no other business before the City Council. Melanie? Oh, that's right. Why don't I turn it over to you for a special announcement?
Thank you, Your Honor and Council. I'm pleased to welcome or introduce our new summer intern. Tony Hammis is in the audience. Tony is a recent graduate of Winona State with a degree in public administration and political science, and he will be spending several hours with us every week for the next, throughout the summer to learn a little bit more about what we do, why we do it, and how we serve the public. So please join me in welcoming Tony.
Welcome aboard, Tony. Glad to have you on board. I hope you learn a lot in this experience. That'd be great. So, okay, there's no further business before the City Council. A motion to adjourn is in order. Councilmember Nelson makes a motion to adjourn, second by Councilmember Alonji. That is a non-debatable motion. All those in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion prevails, and we are adjourned. Thank you.